AI will kill most jobs as we know them, and most of us are ill-equipped to deal with the changes. That's because we need to adapt, and fast.
The biggest nightmare is the looming new industrial revolution.
The erosion of the middle class, already one of America's most serious problems, could get much worse with AI if we ignore it.
The World Economic Forum, or WEF for short, predicted that AI will replace 85 million jobs by 2025. I mean, AI doesn't sleep, doesn't get sick, and doesn't ask for a raise. It has the power to do almost anything a human can, faster and better, by practically eliminating the risk of human error.
Sunak was in the US to tout British leadership on artificial intelligence just days after one of his top advisors warned that AI could begin to kill humans within 2 years. It follows an open letter signed by Elon Musk.
It's getting so out of control that people are starting to panic. Well, for a good reason. Let me jog your memory for a bit. You know that 60% of the jobs we have today didn't exist 20 years ago, like app developers, data scientists, drone experts, Uber drivers, VR consultants, UX designers, SEO analysts, and much more. So what we should be asking ourselves is what jobs AI will kill, and which are the ones it is going to help us create. The first ones to fall are customer service representatives. There are more than 1.5 million customer service representatives in the US. Do you know how many of them are Black people? The industry is so easy to automate, especially with video AI and voice AI becoming more improved. It will be a perfect opportunity for small transactions. This is already happening.
Cora, I am here to help
Meet
you.
Cora. She's a digital version of an actual human.
Cora's consistent, Cora never sleeps, Cora's able to answer questions 24/7. She's
Okay. If she's so great, why don't you just hire her?
Next is data entry. There's a lot of room here for human error, making it much more important to automate this industry. But the jobs that are going to hurt the Black community the most are automated stores, automated restaurants, and courier services like delivering mail, food, packages, and things like that. Being a waiter, chef, chauffeur, all of this could be put into jeopardy, and a lot of Black people are depending on them. We already have a racial gap in America, but AI can make things worse if we choose to ignore it. You see, research showed that generative AI may add $43 billion every year to the racial wealth gap in the US for over 20 years. Black workers are the ones who are more likely to lose their jobs because of automated services. But there is a bright side to all this. The things it can do are both amazing and terrifying at the same time. It can write code, create art, understand emotions, create essays, articles, and more. I mean, it has the potential to help scientists find treatments and diagnostics for some of the deadliest diseases on our planet. Diseases that we never thought we could cure.
Canadian and U.S. researchers used AI to narrow down thousands of chemicals and fast-track the discovery of a new antibiotic.
Now, the Israeli company Biologic Design, per their website, is, quote, committed to curing patients by designing and developing a pipeline of revolutionary therapeutics, close quote. In short, by Biologic, they're working on creating what they term breakthrough antibodies.
But would that make any difference if we are not able to afford these treatments? If we couldn't feed our families or be able to do anything in the future? What would this mean for our society? As Elon Musk so eloquently puts it, no one has control over AI tech.
Okay, I mean, I do want to emphasize that this is not really something that I advocate or this is not prescriptive. This is simply hopefully predictive.
Companies are investing in productivity. And how do they get it? Well, a couple years back, that meant hiring more people. Today, it means investing in AI technology and shrinking the workforce to earn more and pay people less.
Big tech companies like Meta, Google, and Amazon have been laying off a staggering amount of workers, tens of thousands of people.
Microsoft and Google, within just a couple days of each other, within 48 hours of each other, both announcing they're laying off 12,000 people in Microsoft's case, 10,000 people in Google's case.
I get it. No one wants unnecessary expenses when AI can do a better job. This guy decided to open up an AI restaurant because he could. What stops the rest of the world from doing the exact same thing?
Flippy the chef makes Spud spectacular. This automated grill gives the meat its sizzle as this restaurant goes robotic.
By 2025, AI is going to disrupt 85 million jobs around the world, but experts estimate it can create 97 million new roles. That means 40% of the workforce on our planet will have to learn new skills in the next 3 years. What that basically means is we need to improve ourselves and learn more if we don't want to be replaced. But will that be easy for the Black community? We still see plenty of Black high school students who drop out of school. Black students are also quitting university more often than their Asian or white counterparts. Yes, they've been socially and culturally stigmatized. But then, we also see valedictorians who will most likely lose their jobs to AI. What I really want to know is, will everyone in our society, regardless of what kind of degree we have or don't have the potential to beat AI in the ever-evolving world of technology? How many will end up on the streets because they couldn't outsmart the new job market?
There's no demand for humans.
No demand, but there's lots of supply in terms of...
Maybe they just kill everyone. I mean, seriously, I don't know.
I think it's scary because now you're talking to me, but maybe I'm not talking to you.
WEF gave us a list of the jobs that will be lost to AI in a year. Almost every field and specific industry is going to take a hit. These are operations and general managers, factory and assembly workers, bookkeeping, accounting, and payroll clerks, stockkeeping and material recording clerks, customer service and client information workers, administration managers and business services, executive and administrative secretaries, data entry clerks, auditors and accountants, machinery repairers, mechanics. If we are to survive, the education system is going to have to change in ways we've never seen before. The system can no longer promote a factory-based mentality. It must empower the new generation to work on their emotional intelligence, critical thinking, creativity, AI literacy, and deep learning. There will be new jobs headed our way that we will need to learn to use. Most of these jobs will be in the technology industry, like big data specialists, software and applications developers, AI and machine learning specialists, Internet of Things specialists, process automation specialists. Does that mean we should completely forsake jobs that foster our creativity, like painting, writing, and handmade stuff? To understand how AI is going to change the job market, we first need to know how AI works. AI needs humans. Think about the internet. Everything we post, blogs, articles, pictures, stories, videos, is all user-generated content. In 2020, that automated to 64 zettabytes of data. For context, 1 zettabyte is about 1 trillion gigabytes. What AI does is take the content we post and reshuffle it to create something entirely new. Something we haven't seen before. It does it so fast and so well that it can keep creating things over and over again. The possibilities are endless. But to create, it has to have data. It needs us to keep creating content. If it doesn't have any data about a particular problem, AI will make stuff up. This is a phenomenon that we can already see, and it's called AI hallucinations. What that means is AI models learn from patterns in data. But if that data is biased or incomplete, then AI can make incorrect predictions, false positives, and false negatives. ChatGPT, for example, can give you a list of people, code libraries, or URLs that don't even exist. It can reference made-up research papers, books, and news articles. So, if you remove every single person from the internet and leave AI to do the work, AI will eventually run out of new content to shuffle. Yes, we should be worried about how AI will replace most workers, but I don't think this is the main problem here. Economists have predicted this. Industry specialists saw it coming. Even some people are embracing it. I think the real problem is how AI will change the way we perceive our reality. Fake news generated with AI is already going viral. Photos of Pope Francis in a puffer jacket were published in 2023. The world went wild over it. It racked up millions of views in a matter of seconds. Although at first we can see some inconsistency. For example, the left hand looks a bit blurry and distorted. But what do you think will happen when we can't distinguish between fake and real? And you thought fake news was bad? Check this out. AI is officially replacing the biggest actors in Hollywood.
This is one of the first steps in a trend that could upend the way movies are made.
The cast of The Snowpiercer was made to do a full body scan so their bodies could become the property of the movie industry for all eternity. With technology such as this, they can make us see whatever they want us to see. Here's what Lena Hall, who plays Miss Audrey, posted on social media. So, Snowpiercer Season 4 did a full body scan and full range of emotion capture of all their series regulars on the show, not ever telling us the real reason why. Now I know why, and it's really disturbing because I didn't consent. They were apparently told that the whole scanning was for special effects, but they obviously didn't want to tell the whole truth about it. This to me is completely unethical and is going to leave a ton of actors without a job in the future. But these people are rich, so who cares, right? What about the rest of society, especially those who can't make ends meet? Robotics, AI, and the latest technologies like 3D printing have caused a severe gap in wealth and income inequality, and it seems that this problem is only going to get worse. For now, college graduates and white-collar jobs were lucky enough to be spared the fate of degreeless workers. There were plenty with a postgraduate degree who got a raise, but those without a degree found it harder to earn a living with the inflation. Based on a recent report, the real earnings of men without a high school degree are now 15% lower than they were in 1980. Here's what Carl Winderquist said. He is a political theorist, an economist, and a professor of philosophy at Georgetown University in Qatar. Even if AI takes your job away, you don't necessarily just become unemployed for the rest of your life. What happens is you go down in the labor market. You start crowding the lower income professions. He believes that, in the short term, as AI takes over and becomes mainstream, it slowly but surely pushes white-collar workers into the gig economy. They will have no other choice but to do jobs that offer low salaries and no security. A change such as this could drastically impact working conditions and decrease wages. In return, it can increase inequality. This is kind of funny because when Andrew Yang focused his entire presidential campaign back in 2020 on the dangers of AI, no one liked him.
And I'm running for president to help solve the problems that got Donald Trump elected in 2016. Namely that we'd automated away 4 million manufacturing jobs.
Even the mainstream media made him look like a clown.
The Democratic presidential candidate is taking his campaign to new heights, literally. Check this out. Andrew Yang does crowd surfing.
His biggest mistake was focusing on the displacement of truck drivers, construction workers, assemblers, and machine operators, because no one cares about poor people. The thing is, 36% of black men have these blue-collar jobs, compared to the 9% of black women. Recent statistics show that 35% of working black women had jobs in arts, business, management, and science, as opposed to 24% of employed black men. Every single job opportunity in these categories is under threat as we speak. Well, there is something that Elon Musk said a while back that actually makes a lot of sense.
There will come a point where no job is needed. You can have a job if you want to have a job for sort of personal satisfaction, but the AI will be able to do everything.
Automation can make all jobs feel redundant. It can completely reshape society as we know it. If AI can finish 90% of a project in minutes, and we humans have to do the last 10%, there is no way that is going to be sustainable. Companies are not going to hire more human workers so that they can finish the rest of the 10% on each project. It will need maybe 2 or 3 people at the most to keep that business running. Does that mean AI will make money obsolete? Just think about it for a moment. I want you to imagine a future 200 years from now. Ever since the Industrial Revolution, employers have programmed workers to accept anything beneficial for the sake of technological process. The new workers' rights then promised people more leisure time, better working environments, safety protocols, benefits, and pay. What AI can create, as Elon puts it, is a future where people can have too much free time. It's impossible to predict the right case scenario, but one thing is for sure, a transition such as this can have unpredictable and massive consequences around the globe. It would also do different things in different countries. For example, it is very unlikely that people will react to AI and automation the same way in the United States as they would in China, Japan, India, Portugal, etc. We basically saw this happening during COVID lockdowns. Some countries used draconian measures and didn't care for people's basic freedom. So, what most of us are worried about is that this AI technology is still in the hands of bad people, which can do some real damage. If the government doesn't do anything about it, the rich, who have invested in robots or passed them down from generation to generation, will have everything they need, while the rest of society will probably have to do some makeshift jobs that have zero impact on the economy just to survive. As you already know, black people have already been scarred by the racial wealth gap that plagued America during the time of slavery. So, black families are at a disadvantage right off the bat. There was a post on Reddit a while ago that kind of sums it up. When the robots take our jobs, we will all simply become robot repair technicians. But we forget that one engineer can fix an entire fleet of robots. So that right there is one job for thousands of others who will be displaced. People with specialized skills or connections can fill the jobs AI creates, and the number of these jobs will most likely be incredibly competitive because the demand will outpace the supply. Or maybe a bunch of people will go off the grid and disconnect from society. They will choose to live on a farm, grow their own food, and provide their own utilities, water, power, and sewer. Many farms only have an electric bill, a well, and a septic tank. The main benefit of living a life like this is that you and your family don't suffer when the grid is down and you don't have regular bills. It takes a lot of work to keep it going, but it may be better than grinding some meaningless job. But this is something that most of us won't live to see. That being said, on the flip side, there's a way for you to prepare for the road ahead. AI can do a lot of good, It can literally revolutionize so many industries. It can help us reform and redesign our entire education system and style of teaching, which has stayed the same for more than 200 years. This kind of technology can potentially make the new generation better equipped to handle the age of AI. Heck, they will be so much better than us in terms of technology that they will laugh the same way we do when we are trying to teach the older generation how to use Alexa or touchscreens. Nothing is science fiction anymore. Studies indicate that around 33 million cars with self-driving capabilities are going to become the new norm by 2040, and we got AI to thank for that. AI will also become a go-to choice in business intelligence. It can help predict different concepts in the industry and help businesses make better decisions. It processes data more efficiently than anything we can do. Then there is agriculture. We have seen how different inventions have improved the agriculture industry over the years, like machine harvesters, seed drills, and robotics. But AI will take automation to a whole new level. Algorithms can be used to analyze the soil's chemical composition and figure out which nutrients the soil needs. It can also pinpoint and predict various crop diseases. We can use AI to identify optimal growth patterns and the best times to harvest the crops. With this kind of technology, we can improve crop yields like never before. Then, there is cybersecurity, of course. Since many people are going to be so consumed by life inside the metaverse, AI will become so crucial, so detrimental, that there is no way that people aren't going to rely on it. Since everything is being digitized, using AI in cybersecurity can create a drastic change. It can help the cybersecurity sector learn and adapt to threats in both personal and business. So, people can leverage AI to reduce the number of hacks and frauds all around the world. That brings us to another question. How can you survive in the age of AI? If you play it smart, you too can stay ahead of the game. When you look around, you will see people either running away from it or protesting against it. But if you take a moment and look at these changes that are coming, you can see that every single one of us will need to master different skills. It's impossible to predict what jobs we will have, but we do know that most of the population will have an upskill. But before that happens, you should be working on a couple of soft skills that can make you indispensable. First of all, you will need intellectual curiosity. That means you must be willing to dig deeper and learn new things, especially when it comes to technology and the world around you. For example, you can ask ChatGPT or another AI-powered tool to give you a social media strategy based on the type of business you work for, such as a law firm, tech, or SaaS. But you won't implement the AI-generated strategy as is. You will research, determine which component needs improvement, play around with it, and customize it to your business goals, values, service, and target audience. This soft skill allows you to work on projects with better creativity. It opens endless possibilities for thinking outside the box and will enable you to come up with unconventional strategies that most people won't even bother to try. Secondly, you need adaptability. I can't stress enough how important it is to adapt to this constantly evolving society. Things have changed and will keep on changing much faster than you can possibly imagine. Being adaptable means that you should be analytical, resourceful, determined, and practice leadership skills. Try as many different strategies as you possibly can based on the responsibilities you have. Next is objectivity. A great leader will always stay objective. You need to stay away from personal biases and develop a realistic perspective. That's because the AI tools will also inherit this bias. Instead, we need to rely on data and facts. According to the co-founder at Shipyard, Blake Birch, AI works best when the result can be subjective, art, writing, idea generation, etc., or when some error is tolerable, data classification. When you need something to be 100% right, you can only rely on the AI output if you have other ways to verify the accuracy, like code execution, or undergoing human-in-the-loop review. In other words, there is no correct way for AI to determine categories that every human on the planet will agree with. It is up to us to choose what to replicate and believe. Another thing we, as humans, are great at is holistic understanding. It is a skill that helps you figure out the connection between the components of a whole system. Look at it this way. Every piece of information you have comes from an idea. That information can always have more than one idea. The information will also depend on the context. To understand the information better, we must get more context and try to understand the connection between different ideas better. That's where holistic understanding comes in handy. In a company, a holistic approach connects each department and allows them to work as a team. Together, they can strive to achieve the same business goals. If you are using AI tools, it's critical to figure out how every single project benefits the company as a whole. Then, it would be best if you learn to work with the rest of the teams, no matter how different that department may be. For instance, it is easy to see how marketing and product teams have so much in common. Their work intertwines, but it is difficult to see how the legal and product teams are connected. Holistic understanding helps us connect what seems to be unrelated experiences and information so that we can draw creative, useful, and meaningful insight. In that sense, we are better than AI when it comes to learning different, unrelated, and recurring patterns in life. Another skill you will desperately need is critical thinking. You must question assumptions, consider different perspectives, and make reasonable decisions. It helps you avoid making impulsive decisions and encourages logical problem solving that can help you navigate complex situations. When you are more logical, you can identify flaws in reasoning and contradictions and construct coherent arguments. To do that, you must be more open-minded and willing to work on your personal beliefs when someone gives you compelling evidence. Then we got empathy. In the age of AI, empathy will remain a crucial skill to learn. That's because AI tools can help treat or identify diseases. They can help you write top stories or newspaper articles, but they can't help you break the news of a patient who's on their deathbed. AI tools can't really respond to or understand human emotions properly. Maybe in the future it will, but for now, humans need to show empathy. For example, when there is a sensitive problem, customer service teams need a human touch. AI-powered chatbots or other tools can only do so much. When someone is dealing with a crisis or a difficult point in life, it is important to show compassion and try to solve the problem in a way that would make the customer feel comfortable. This is where a skill like emotional intelligence can really make you shine. With it, you will be able to better understand your emotions and the feelings of those around you. You get to work with people with all sorts of personalities, and because AI can't accommodate that need, humans will be left to manage that sort of thing, whether that means moving your business to different markets or diverse cultures, providing relevant ads, engaging consumers, etc. As you can see, handling change is never easy. We've seen this with how society has changed through the ages. From the time electricity was invented to automation and now digitalization, AI brings forth a new era. Those who are going to lose everything to AI and automation are the people who will choose to ignore them. So please don't ignore this new industrial revolution, as some people like to call it. Give yourself time to adapt, learn, and improve. Use these technologies to create the future you want. Don't forget, focus on your humanity. Develop the human side of you, your emotional intelligence, creativity, communication, empathy, curiosity, and critical thinking, so that you can grow both on a personal and professional level. What do you think is going to change the most? How far are we from a dystopian future? Or do we stand a chance to create the perfect utopia where we can have all the freedom and leisure we want without the consequences? As always, thank you for watching, and see you in the next video.